Well, good morning to my colleagues.
Morning.
What an honorable group. With all seriousness, in all seriousness, the last several hours, beginning yesterday morning, through the day yesterday, through the night, and now into the early morning hours of this given day, I believe we have made a moment of history. An historic situation conducted by the Democrats of this House to have gathered on the House steps with Leader Pelosi, with our colleagues, with advocates who joined with our voices to encourage, if not to plead, for progress, to respond with common sense, good sense, to items that need to be addressed, that address the public safety within our communities, our neighborhoods, an important bit of business that we have prompted here on the House floor. And then to have joined the forces of those who have organized us today. An icon in the name of John Lewis, Brother John Lewis, Congressman John Lewis, who's notorious for standing for civil rights and human rights, having set a tone for this nation for decades, enabling this country to grow in terms of recognition of being that more perfect union, providing rights for those who were denied rights, making a difference in the quality of life of the people of this great nation, and to have had the efforts poured forth by Representative Catherine Clark, whom I'm looking at this moment. Thank you, Catherine. Thank you for your leadership. And by David Cicilline, Representative David Cicilline of Rhode Island, who I'm looking at also. Thank you, David, for the efforts made. And as we gathered here, testimony upon testimony upon testimony, we heard of the need in our given communities. We expressed the loss of life, the suffocation of dreams, promises that will never be captured because of life cut short. You know, I've talked to a number of stations in my district early this morning, and the response from the Republican majority has been, this is a political stunt. What is a political stunt? Banging the gavel 2 days early, closing session, adjourning, in the heat of a sit-in, in the darkness of night, fleeing Washington. That's a political stunt. Absolutely. So I say to the Republicans in Washington, and I make that distinction, because in my district, Republicans, along with Democrats, along with independents, along with non-affiliated voters, and the general public at large, gun owners and non-gun owners, have said common sense is where we need to be. That needs to be the road that we follow. Making certain that if you're deemed dangerous and should not fly on an airplane, you should not be able to purchase a gun. Common sense. If there are loopholes that allow you to purchase a gun online or at gun shows, not having a background check, common sense. Close that loophole. That's where people are. But in Washington, Republicans, our colleagues in the Republican ranks, want to call this a political stunt. I implore those colleagues, the Republican colleagues, to see this for what it is, a human outcry to the Republican majority in the House of Representatives. It's not a political stunt. See it for what it is, an impassioned plea on behalf of those who have lost loved ones to gun violence. And to the leadership, to Speaker Paul Ryan, and to other leaders in the House from the Republican ranks, see it for what it is. It is not a political stunt. It's rightful indignation. America has had enough. They have lost their loved ones. They grieve. You know, we listen to the stories that people will talk about with each and every passing bit of carnage. And people will talk about visiting the family members and loved ones of the victims. We hear about them looking into their tear-filled eyes. We hear about them empathizing because of their broken hearts. But then we get here, and business is denied. Progress is denied. It is so disrespectful. It is so insensitive. For our response, their response, the majority's response, when they lend a blind eye to the tear-filled eyes, when they address with hardened hearts the broken hearts, the heavy hearts. That is the injustice that is driven by their recalcitrance, by their determination not to let a bill to the floor for a vote. My colleagues, I am so proud of the efforts we have made today. Individual voices, collective voices, saying we can do better than this. There are solutions that are common sense solutions. Let us go forward. No fly, no buy. Close the loophole. Make certain background checks cover each and every purchase. That's a start. That's a respectful response to those who have forever lost loved ones, children, parents, siblings, grandchildren, neighbors, and friends. I am honored to stand on this floor with colleagues who are champions for reform. Let's go forward. With that, I yield back.
Yay, Paul.